Hello viewers and welcome to another episode of Lancer Custom Works, where I will be discussing the various mech builds you could make and play with Lancer. In today's Encore Edition episode where we pay attention to some of the older frames we have revealed before, IPSN, Part 2, featuring Raleigh, Tortuga, and Vlad, yes, only 3, which means the builds are gonna be split a bit differently this time. Every frame from this point onwards get more builds each thanks to this. Anyway, let's start with the cowboy first. Raleigh, I made this joke enough already. The playstyle of Raleigh is simple, you spend one turn firing all the bullets and you spend the other not. It's all about the massive alpha strike, which mean all Raleigh build has two halves, deciding what loading weapons and other big stick to use, and deciding what to do on your non-firing turn. And of course, abusing the shit out of the end of the turn phase, because FMJ only get interrupted if you do any harmful things on your turn and specifically only your turn. Any other time, go kill a senator or something, FMJ doesn't care. This also means putting support talents and systems on Raleigh is often a good idea. Gotta spend your non-firing turn doing non-firing things after all. Things like leader, field analyst, or orator is a good idea. But of course, more than likely, you just want to get a bunch of auxiliary and start shooting things up like a gunslinger. The best skill for Raleigh for this exact reason, combined arms would be a good idea too because a lot of auxiliary weapons have short range and being engaged is annoying. Anyway, let's start talking about the builds, starting with MACROSS Missile Massacre, a Raleigh that's exactly all about its name with so many missile racks. Javelin rocket and heavy gunner can do some pain to the enemy without rolling attack or force save, gravity gun to group up enemies for your missiles to do more pain, and then orator because you gonna have an easy time charging it up. If you need to get away from melee striker, Tesseract with evil lets you fly away with ease. Next there's
oh fuck, that's an anti-tank rifle.
A Raleigh revolved around a Paracausal CPR for all the anti-everything damage, nuclear cavalier, crack shot, Roland, OP cal, that's 7d6 unreducible damage, and when not firing that monster, you are a defender with house guard and Noah, with the addition of spotter and veil rifle to help out allies in their defense too, allowing you to protect your allies with shield or incredible violence of high caliber projectile. Spacetime Trailblazer is one of the many Half-Sunzi Raleigh in this episode, one with warp rifle to teleport an unfortunate enemy almost 10 spaces once every 2 turn. You can even use tactician to teleport someone off your turn if your allies shoot them up too, and other than that, you have house guard to expand the radius in which spotter works at, plus other support talents like orator to scan to impair people. Blink and you will hit it is another one of these Half-Sunzi Raleigh, one with Blinkspace tunneler to carry your team to frontline, and use spotter 3 to let your allies attack more during your non-firing turn. Feeling hand cannon range is too short, create a breach in reality and give those guns 15 range instead. It's just a cowboy build with some nasty surprises for the enemies.
Let's go gambling!
Is a SISYPHUS Raleigh to make sure your Uncle Bolt Thrower can hit things because +3 difficulty is pretty bad, with field analyst to manipulate the probability even more when possible, and orator for even more support. SISYPHUS is a full action, so honestly it really fits perfectly, and if you do get lucky with a 20, you can be real funny with universal comp. The Ecstasy of Gold is a supermassive Cannibal Raleigh with 5 hand cannons too. A full monster barrage is capable of doing something like 11d6 worth of damage and 5 knockback to send someone flying, and that's before activating Gunslinger 3, Hardpoint lets you get close with less damage and ERM can patch you up if you need it. And, for some goddamn reasons, this build has Infiltrator, so if you want to sneak up behind people before blasting them to Kingdom Come, you absolutely can. I am gonna claw out your eyes then drown you to death, is a SCYLLA Iconoclast Raleigh, because due to how FMJ works, as long as you don't fire on your turn, you can reload your gun, so obviously, just use SCYLLA and monitor to fire everything off your turn instead, and occasionally use Iconoclast to give an enemy death beam, which doesn't count as an attack because you don't roll dice to hit. Raleigh is a Dynamo's hand cannon spam Raleigh, does exactly what a Raleigh do, but now can either make your allies faster and enemies slower with unhinged chronology, or use Dynamos to reposition yourself into a better location safer, and if you got nothing else to do, SISYPHUS enhances your bolster to the next level, a good support talent to have around. Wild Eye of the West is a Raleigh that works normally with hand cannons and bolt thrower, and then still hurts people in its non-firing turn anyway, by applying Imperial Eyes and then pull people into the radius with an Uncle Mag cannon. Remember, end of turn shenanigan, and it's always high noon somewhere so just keep shooting anyway. And lastly, there's just a Cataphract, Lancer Cataphract to be precise, not the AC6 ones, a combined arms Raleigh that can blast the heck out of its enemies at range or up close. being engaged is not a problem to it at all, and having an OP catalytic hammer is going to hurt like hell when it hits. Follow it up with a Juggernaut ram, and you can definitely finish something off with an Uncle Bolt thrower that now has all the accuracy from combined arm 3, auto stab, and prone. Raleigh, the one frame that really loves reloading, the way how its trait works really force the players to figure out how to accommodate it and use every trick in the book to get past its restriction for the benefits. It does help that loading weapons have a fantastic array of options that feel sick when you hit someone with them, turning Raleigh into a powerful workhorse with an interesting gimmick. Next up, Vlad, the one spiky boy whose job is simple, immobilize someone and then rip their fucking guts out. Like most IPSN frame, Vlad is a monster up close and I love its brutality. Against highly armored enemies, Vlad is their bane because it can go through them with ease thanks to its trait. Vlad just do not respect armor at all, though it would like to have more for itself. Its strongest weapon is arguably the Impaler, which just makes its job so much easier, especially when paired with Vanguard, and unsurprisingly, a point or two in Black Witch or White Witch will make it even more demonic with all the immobilization options. Combined arms is also a good talent to have too, since Vlad will most likely be up in someone's face that will soon be ripped off. Anyway, let's start things off with Dome Barrage, a hyperdense Vlad that rocks Vanguard DSAS and Impaler for devastating close combat power, with Heavy Gunner and Crackshot further boosting the power of the Legion Battle Rifle, and ERM to patch up as needed. It's a tough speedy build that can impose control over the battlefield with ease. Stop there, I'll be your opponent, is a half White Witch Vlad, just immobilizes everything with White Witch and Vlad stuff, and get +1 accuracy to attack thanks to Pancrathy, which also helps you in getting close fast and grind up people with Swarm Body. Other than that, this Vlad has House Guard, Field Analyst, and Sympathetic Shield to protect allies well. It also has a big sword. Vlad Everywhere System is another half White Witch Vlad, one that can fly with Ace and Pancrathy for even more mobility, get close, immobilize people with Pharaoh Lance and Impaler, take hits for allies with Camus Razor and Sympathetic Shield, then slam right back with Retort Loop and knock people into the Pharaoh Spike Barrier, just a bucket of pain. I am about to be a fucking problem is another hyperdense Vlad that's tough as hell against anything at a distance, especially with 25 HP and 3 armor, plus Impaler and Pharaoh Lance to immobilize anything that gets too close with combined arms and Pancrathy for more accuracy, and Heavy Gunner HMG to impair everything at range. To top it all off, this Vlad also has Siege Ram and Pinning Spire, meaning anyone up close can get rammed down and immobilize with no chance to save at all, so your allies can murder them. It's just a devastating build for sure. John Lancer is a Vlad that can charge straight in with Pancrathy that has all the lances, Pharaoh Lance, Impact Lance, and Thermal Lance, plenty of line AoE attack, with Pinning Spire, Webjaw, and Heavy Gunner to control movements, further aid by mine modes of Spear and Hex charges which get more dangerous thanks to Demolitionist, just a whole lot of control. Three-Headed Dog is an Iconoclast Lucifer Vlad with 2 more NHP on board, hence the name, with 12 heat cap. This Vlad can cut the hell out of everything with its Tempest charged blade, plus EXT bat to provide more reach, though a lack of executioner talent hurts the damage potential a bit. Since you are usually in someone's face anyway, unmissable beam attack from Iconoclast will work just fine to finish the job, and if things get too hot, Black Thumb is right there. Warm Blade Acupuncture is just a tough as heck half Gilgamesh build, not with its health, but with 3 ERM charges to tank hits like nothing else. With Deep Well, staying at danger zone is not a problem even when overcharging thanks to Heat Fall, which is helpful at getting that Nuclear Cavalier damage bonus too, so you can cut right through anything with the Super Thermal Blade. Immobilizing everything with Vanguard Impaler will help a lot too. Let's not play the game together is going to be one annoying Vlad. With Ghost Weave and active camo, it can be invisible most of the time. Simply get close to someone, immobilize them, and then also use Exemplar on them to give them a massive difficulty to hit anything other than you, while you are still invisible. You can see where this is going, add in House Guard, flash charges, and more, and this Vlad can really prevent enemies from harming its allies at all. Finally, there's Berserk Car, not the first time this gets referenced. It's a Fomorian battle taxi Vlad with dual Impaler to shoot anything that gets too close and Juggernaut to ram through wall like nothing else. It's just a funny Vlad that can carry its allies and immobilize anything around it, and then its allies can destroy them. Vlad, simple, yet very effective in its execution. Stick something onto the ground and rip them apart, easy as that, and yet it's because of this simple core mechanic that Vlad can be rebuilt into all kinds of brutal close quarter build. It's an effective frame to play around for sure. Last for this episode, Tortuga, the one that reacts at things and protect allies well, and can also hack things from range 15 away because for some reasons this giant is also a 5G tower, add in the fact that its trait just give it more accuracy with reaction fire, and you really got a frame that can do a lot of different things at once, mostly reacting differently at different circumstances. Vanguard, Heavy Gunner, Tactician, these are good talents for Tortuga to have around for reaction fire, as well as House Guard because, I don't think I need to give praise to it anymore for the series, it's just good. Now, let's start with the Plumber, a Legion Nexus Tortuga, which with 15 sensor range, integrated ammo feed, and Grease Monkey, you can easily cover the entire battlefield with Pipe Cleaner, add in Vanguard DSAS, House Guard 1, Utility Drone, and Spear Charges, and this Tortuga can really keep the battlefield clean of enemies on its own while protecting its allies with ease. What doesn't kill you makes me stronger, is a half-white witch Tortuga build around one thing, Heavy Gunner retort loop to encourage enemies to shoot at you and ended up getting blasted to Stone Age. White Witch gives plenty of systems and tools for you to shield allies and immobilize enemies, forcing more and more micro damage on you which can be further reduced by hyperdense armor to charge up the retort loop. It's a reliable combo for sure. Cerberus, Watchdog of Tartarus, is a Tortuga with 3 floating heads, a Ghast Nexus, and 2 assassin drones, vastly increasing the range you can apply harm to people. Heavy Gunner Ghast Nexus with Senti Main is a dangerous gun that can apply a lot of status effects, especially with +1 accuracy thanks to Tortuga's trait which lets it crit more often. One weird trick this build can use is when hyperdense armor is on, you can still do full damage to target that's far away, as long as they are within range 3 of the Ghast Nexus, because you are still firing at a target within range 3, technically. Speed Enforced by Mech, is a Tortuga that punishes anyone that dares to move with Vanguard, Heavy Gunner, or Spear Charges. The moment they move even one space within zones you have restricted, they get exploded. Hyperdense armor and ERM make you very hard to be killed. House Guard can protect your allies well, you just sit back and punish everyone within your side with a speed ticket, delivered by a gun. The Art of Daisy Cutter is just a simple Tortuga with a Daisy Cutter, 7 shots of it to be precise, more with Grease Monkey if needed. The other half of the build is just Sunzi. You are free to activate hyperdense armor and teleport everyone everywhere. Remember to blink charge people into a tight group for maximum effect, and if you want to be funny, you can turn DSAS into a 13 range shotgun with real space breach, around the corner even. Burn O Flame, is a Hacktiga that explodes and burns everything. Vanguard Krakatoa is just nasty. If enemy doesn't want to leave your face, give them a flaw minus from purifying code and shoot them if they do run, assuming they aren't on fire from immolate invade options. With this build, you always have a solution, and that solution is burn everything down, and with Jump Jet and Ace, forget the 15 sensor range, you can chase people down with ease. Next there's Mr. X Gon Give It to Ya, is a Tortuga that can ambush people no matter where they go even with speed 3 thanks to Dynamos. With TTT, you can slam someone full force with Catalytic Hammer after invading anyone, and Horo S1 is real nice here. Forcing people to move into Wandering Nightmare is great, forcing them to trigger Heavy Gunner is also very funny. No matter what your enemy do, you will give it to them, with it being a lot of pain. Shinju, is a half-Emperor Tortuga instead, using its amazing 15 sensor range to throw electric charges everywhere, all of which can be triggered by either hostile getting shot or knocked around, easily done with a range 8 Heavy Gunner Hammer URPL. This Tortuga prefer people paying attention to it too, a full exemplar talent will do that easily, forcing enemies to attack you and no one else, because the Emperor demands full attention. And lastly, there's Crashing Turtle, a Tortuga that literally wants to crash into enemies by shooting the Croil rifle, and during enemies' turn when they move or do anything, activates Juggernaut and RMJ because you are boosting and just crash right through any enemy group that just happens to be in the way. I recommend shooting the guy all the way in the back for maximum effect. Now you have a lot of prone enemies on the ground to murder. This build also has multi-gear maneuver system, which Tortuga clearly cannot use to move, but it can bring it behind enemies and knock them all prone by knocking them into the line with Cannibal or spike charges, tripping them onto the floor. In short, this Tortuga has a lot of ways to keep people knees deep in corpses, the other way around. A brick of wall with a shotgun, a Tortuga can really protect allies well with its bulk, or shoot anything that gets too close, or just use its immense sensor range for more tech shenanigans instead. Probably one of the more flexible frame among the IPSN lineup due to exactly this. It's great. And that's about it for this round of Lancer Custom Works Encore. Once again, I would like to thank all of my viewers who have submitted their builds for this episode. For the next round of contests, it's back to the Horus once again, second round, featuring Manticore, Minotaur, and Pegasus. That's all for now, and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe and click that notification bell button. If you want to see the videos early as well as further support my channel, you can join in my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.